Hi, I'm your coach Ganesh. Today we are going to see a very important topic. It's called working with strengths. Probably, I believe in the previous sessions you would have had a session on SWOT analysis wherein you would have identified what your strengths, opportunities, threats, weaknesses are. So what we are going to do right now is we are going to focus on what your strengths are, how you are going to win or how you are going to work with your strengths. So this is going to be a very important topic and it's going to be very crucial in all aspects of your life. Why it is important to know or understand your strengths are. See, what happens is, as Swami Vivekananda says, if you regard yourself stronger, the stronger you become. So instead of focusing on your weakness, what you are going to do is you are going to focus on your strengths. So what it creates is, it creates a high level of self-esteem, wherein it is going to increase your confidence level. For instance, when you're going to focus on your weakness, what happens is, you're going to put yourself low in front of others and you're going to start feeling low about a lot of things. Say for instance, a common mistake that we have been doing all our life is, we have been focusing on what we don't have and we always feel low about ourselves. It creates a low self-esteem. Say for instance, when I'm going to ask you, is it possible for you to score 100 marks in your exam? The immediate answer would be no. And wherein if I'm going to ask you like who is the person who can score 100 marks, immediately you will be able to focus or point out someone. It's because that you believe that you don't have certain things, wherein you always compare yourself with that person and you understand that you lack a lot of things, wherein you start focusing on things that you don't have. Same way when it happens to setting a goal in your life, what happens is most of the time what we do is like we always focus on what we don't have and we keep relying on it. So instead of this bad habit, once you are going to break this pattern and once you are going to start focusing on your strengths, wherein what happens is your self-esteem would start increasing. Once you start understanding what makes you unique, let me just give you a definition of what strength is. Strength is in simple terms I can explain it to you as something that you can do on a consistent basis and you can expect a same kind of or a very excellent result. So identifying your strengths is not a very big deal. Just analyze your life, the things that you have come across, wherein for things that you have been appreciated, things that you feel like you are good enough, wherein you are able to do it extraordinarily well when compared to others. What makes you feel unique? These things are your strengths. So what happens is once you are going to start focusing on your strengths, you start feeling that you are a very unique person. And moreover, you are not only going to feel that you are very unique, and moreover you are going to feel that you are very confident and you can do the things. You will have that attitude, what we call it as, yes, I can. And if you go and analyze successful people, what made them successful is, there is a Pareto principle. It's called the 80-20 rule. What this 80-20 rule says is, for things to be done or to be successful in life, 80% is mindset and only 20% is skill. In most cases or in most scenario, what we do is, we don't think that like we start focusing on our weakness. We think like I lack this skill, I lack that skill. For instance, I'm not good in planning, I'm not good in executing. So we always focus on these things, wherein it is only this 20% is your skill, wherein the 80% is your mindset. So what happens is once you are going to start focusing on your strengths, what happens is your mindset is going to get changed, wherein you are going to approach everything with a positive attitude. This is going to give you a lot of leverage in terms of achieving it. Once you start focusing on your weakness, what happens is it puts you down, it pulls you down, it stops you from taking a first step, it stops you from taking action. You might plan a lot of things, but you say like, for instance, when I'm going to ask you the simple question, from when you are going to start scoring good marks, you will say like, if I have a good time or if I start putting effort, or you will have a lot of things, if, a lot of ifs would be there once you are going to say that. But what happens is, it's all because like you are focusing on what you don't have or what your focus is entirely on your weakness. But wherein once you are going to completely focus on your strengths alone, you will have all that energy, all the enthusiasm and all the confidence level to go ahead and take the first step. And once you have taken the first step or the initiative, everything is going to like, you will be able to learn everything in the process. So it's all about like having a mindset. So as the 80-20 rule says, 80% is your mindset and 20% is a skill. So to have a winning attitude or to have a winning mindset, what you all need to do is like focus on your strengths. So when you have done the SWOT analysis, you would have identified what your strengths are. So what happens is, what you need to do is structure your goal or set your goal in such a way that it meets your strengths, or your strengths, you relate your goal with your strengths, so that it would be easy for you to go out and achieve it. And irrespective of what the size of the goal that you have, even you can set a very small goal, and if that goal is going to be dependent on your strength, and if you are going to achieve it, it is going to give you a lot of confidence. It is going to provide you with a lot of confidence and enthusiasm to go out and pursue higher goals in your life. So there is a famous book called The Strength Builder by a famous author called Marcus Buckingham. So in his book, The Strength Finder, what he says is, he says the simple thing: even in management or in large corporates, if they identify each and every individual strength, and if they are going to delegate job according to their strengths, they will be able to perform better in the job roles. So even in corporates, when they are following the simple strategy, when we are going to follow the same thing in our personal life, for instance, the goals that you set are very much dependent on what your strengths are, the possibility of achieving that strength is going to be more. For example, you would have come across this. For instance, when you feel a particular subject as something that you are convenient or you are most confident with, when you are going to go for the exam, your entire approach towards the exam is going to be entirely different rather than the one that you don't feel comfortable. For instance, in my case, it was maths. So from my childhood, like whenever someone is going to whenever there is going to be a maths exam, I feel very much down and I will not have enough enthusiasm or motivation to go out and write the exam. But when it comes to the other subjects, like wherein I felt that English was my most favorite subject and I felt very confident, even without preparing, I will go confidently and I can write that exam. So that makes the difference. What I felt was like I was completely focusing on my negative. So when it comes to my life, like what I did was, like I thought my entire strength was communication skills, wherein I thought like this is where my entire strength lies on. So that's the reason I chose the role of trainer and then into marketing and then into sales, wherein in each of these fields, the major strength that was very key in my building my career was I just focused on what we call it as the strength. My strength was communication skills. As I said, communication skills was my greatest strength. And if you're going to analyze all successful people, they were always fighting, or they always fought their goals with the strengths instead of focusing on their weakness. Once you start focusing on what you don't have, you will never be able to get successful. You need to wait till you get it accomplished. So wherein you need to wait or you need to procrastinate for a very long period. Wherein instead of that, once you are going to focus on your strength and if you are going to take action immediately, you will be able to reach your goals in a much faster and also with much confidence, and also you will be able to reach your target in the best way. So what I suggest you right now is to go ahead and focus, identify your strengths, feel that you are very unique. Identifying your strengths will always make you feel unique. And once you feel that you are unique, you are gifted, nothing can stop you from achieving your goal. All the best.